With the Palworld launch being just 9 days away, things are really starting to hype up. And this morning, Pocket Pair dropped some answers to some frequently asked questions to give us a bit more of an insight. So we're going to run through all of those now, and hopefully this will answer some of the questions you may have. So without further ado, let's do this. When will Palworld release? Palworld launches into early access worldwide on January the 19th. So yes, we did find this out yesterday. Palworld releases on Steam, Xbox, Game Pass, and Windows on January the 19th. Now we have a countdown in the Caztecx Discord that is automatically converted to your time zone. So if you want to know the exact time it drops, then be sure to join the Discord. All the links are down below. How much will Palworld cost? Palworld will cost $29.99 during early access. This price will vary depending on your regional currency. Now that's a very reasonable price. That is the average price of a good indie game. Remember, if you're playing on Xbox Game Pass or PC Game Pass, you can get Palworld as part of your subscription. Will new pals and areas be added to Palworld? Yes. Palworld will continue to be updated during and after early access. We will share a roadmap of our year one plan shortly after release. Now Pocket Pair does love a roadmap, and I do too. It just gives us a rough time frame of what to expect and what to look forward to. But they are going to be adding new biomes, new pals. They've mentioned in the Q&A that they're going to add new ways to capture pals, and then of course you've got things like PvP and servers will be added after launch as well. So that is awesome, and I will break down that roadmap as soon as we have it. Is there PvP in Palworld? PvP will not be supported at the initial release. However, we are currently testing PvP internally and experimenting with different approaches. We want to find the right type of PvP that fits Palworld, and when it is ready, we will share that news with you all. So as we already knew, PvP wasn't going to be part of the initial release. It is going to come a little bit down the road, but they mention here that they want to find the right type of PvP that suits Palworld, which ultimately is a great idea. I don't believe we need PvP right from the start. Would it be cool? Well, sure, we all kind of want a finished, polished game, but it also does give us a lot to look forward to in the future. Is Palworld on Xbox Game Pass for PC? Yes. Palworld is on the Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass for PC. So as I mentioned, the game will cost $29.99, but you can get it as part of your Game Pass subscription whether you play on console or PC. And that is also regardless of which subscription to Game Pass you have. I see there's a bit of confusion going around where they're not sure if they will get the game if they have Game Pass Standard or Game Pass Ultimate. But really that doesn't affect the games that you actually get. That just affects which platform you can use your Game Pass subscription on. So Palworld will be available on both Standard and Ultimate. The only difference being if you have Standard, you can only play Game Pass on that one machine, whereas if you have the Ultimate subscription, you can use your Game Pass subscription on your console and your PC. But that's all irrelevant. If you have Game Pass, you can play Palworld. Does Palworld support crossplay between Xbox and Steam? Not at launch. We are working to make this a possibility as soon as possible. This also means that PC Game Pass cannot play with Steam until crossplay is added. Now this one was slightly expected, mainly because not a lot of games actually offer crossplay from Steam to Xbox or even the PC Game Pass. But it is amazing that they absolutely want this to be a thing. I was personally debating which platform I want to play the game on because although I do prefer to play on Steam, I also don't mind playing on the PC Game Pass, and a lot of the Caztecx community also plays Xbox. So it would have meant we can all play together. But no matter what, I would do pretty much my first run through as single player anyway, so hopefully I can do that on Steam for a while, and then one day we can all join together. Will Palworld be coming to PS5? We don't have plans for this at the moment, but we'll consider it during development. Now we did know this, we knew that it was mainly coming to Xbox and PC, but it is something that they may consider down the line, but for now, no plans for PlayStation. Will Palworld support more languages? We don't have any plans to add more languages for the initial release, but we would like to support more as we continue to develop the game. Now I know languages languages are a big concern for a lot of people, so it's good to know that Pocket Pair is considering even more languages. But another thing to keep in mind is that there are mods that do allow different languages. So if mods get to the game and to different languages before Pocket Pair do, at least that's various options coming to make sure that you can play the game however you want. Does Palworld support controllers on PC? Yes. Nice and straightforward? Yeah. If you want to use a controller on your PC, go for it. Can Palworld be played offline and single player? Yes, you can play Palworld by yourself offline or with your friends online. Pretty standard, but great to know that those options are there for us as well. How does multiplayer work in Palworld? You can play Palworld with up to 3 friends by simply starting a multiplayer game and inviting them, 4-player co-op. Beyond this, you can create a dedicated server, which will allow for up to 32 players to play in the same world and create guilds together. We will provide the tools to create these servers yourself at launch. There will also be official servers managed by us, or you can choose to host your own private ones, which is fantastic because I am going to be starting up the Caztecx server and I'm hoping to have a big open world with us all just grinding together. So if you do want to join that, make sure that you're in the Caztecx Discord. I'll also be putting all the information in the Discord and I'll make a video about it when the time is right. But otherwise, 4-player co-op or a server up to 32 people plus Palworld will have their own servers, or you can make your own as well. Can I use my single player character in multiplayer too? At the moment, partially yes. Your character is bound to your world and is not shared across servers or single player. However, if you are the host of a co-op game, then you can switch between single player or multiplayer freely, but your guests will not be able to do this. We plan to provide a server/save transfer method later on during development. So essentially, if you create a world, you can then choose if it's single player or multiplayer. And if you wish, you can then later change that, which means your character can technically hop between multiplayer and single player, but it has to be in that same world. But that does mean the guests that join you will only be using their multiplayer side, so they won't be able to do that, as they wouldn't be the host of the world. But down the road, they're looking to add it so you can take your character wherever you go. Does Palworld support modding? Steam Workshop? Steam Workshop support won't be supported straight away, but we plan to add it after launch. Palworld is made in Unreal Engine 5, and we look forward to seeing what sort of mods people come up with. Now, I'm not going to get too much into my personal opinions on modding. All I've said before is I don't particularly like it, but I'm totally up for seeing what creative mods people come up with. I just wish they limited at creative ones and stopped all the cheating ones. But I guess if it's single player, it doesn't matter. Is this game a scam? Or is it a money-making MMO or virtual currency game? It is not a scam and will definitely be released on January 19th. Palworld is a typical Steam game. You buy it once and it is yours forever. While we may consider expansions after the full release, that is a conversation we will all have together as a community when the time comes. So no, the game is not a scam. It's coming out on January the 19th. You don't need to believe that now, but trust me, on January the 19th, it will happen and it is real. When it comes to it being a money-making MMO, Pocket Pair haven't really dived into microtransactions previously. Craftopia, for example, had none. Now, personally, I don't actually see that much wrong with microtransactions as long as they're cosmetic. So I wouldn't be against Pocket Pair doing that for Palworld. I personally wouldn't spend any money on it because I don't do microtransactions for cosmetics or anything. I'm happy with good old default, but as they mentioned, if it came to something like expansions, then that will be something they will have a chat with the community about, and I'm all for that as well. Whatever keeps the game going for longer with fresh content, I'm all for it. And that's it. That is all of the frequently asked questions. Now, one question I would really like answered: if it comes to the point where crossplay is a thing between Xbox and Steam, would that also include servers? If I can start up a server and you can join no matter what platform you're on, that is massive. But either way, some great answers there, and we officially have the price of the game, which has been a huge vocal point. I have had so many comments asking how much the game's going to cost. But there we go, it's all sorted. Now, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please do drop a like and subscribe. Join the Caztecx Discord. All the links are down below. I'm still covering all the PAL decks, got a whole bunch of other stuff to get covered, and I love it when we're getting little nuggets of information like this. Pocket Pair has been absolutely crushing it, and I'm so pleased with the route they're taking, especially when it comes to communication and things like that. And we have only 9 days left before we get our hands on Palworld. But that's it from me. I'm on to the next one. Peace!